All right, everybody, here's some help on that IXL assignment. It's topic Algebra 1, in the Algebra 1 class, I should say, topic L1, which is solving absolute value equations. Just what we've been working on here in class, and the problems today are very similar. Some of them you may need to write some things down, some of them you may not to. It just depends on how well these are going for you, okay? And just regardless, either way, it doesn't matter, again, how you get your answer versus your friend gets your answer. Like, it doesn't matter as long as you understand them and you see kind of how we are getting the numbers for what goes into t in this case, or x, or whatever variable, using absolute value equations. As long as you understand, that's what's more important, okay? Again, some people can kind of look at some of these and start to get the idea of what to know. Some people, it takes some writing some things down. For me, it always took writing some things down to make sure I've got it down, okay? So if you do, I'm going to show you here some suggestions for what you can write down to give yourself some help. And it goes along with the lessons we've been recently learning, okay? First thing I would do in this one, realize that the absolute value is on the right side. Again, I just like it on the left side. So I'm going to rewrite this and get it on the left side just like this. 3t inside the absolute value equals 9. Then the next step, remember, okay, if you watch the video lessons from the previous couple days, is that since I have the absolute value by itself on this side, there's nothing else added to it or multiplied out front. Since it's all by itself, I can now split this into two cases, which is what I'm going to do. And again, I've just called them kind of the red case and the blue case. But the red case just looks exactly like the equation looks right now. 3t equals 9, dropping the absolute value lines. The blue case is almost the same, but it's just 3t equals negative 9. I just make that last number negative. This is what needs to happen, because again, what you need inside the absolute value here for this equation to be true is 3t. Whatever I put in for t, it's either got to equal 9 or negative 9, because the absolute value of either of those numbers, okay, if I took the absolute value either one, gives me 9. So I make two little equations here and here that say that. Either 3t is going to be 9 or 3t is going to be negative 9. Okay, and then I just go ahead and solve using our steps. Drawing my lines, I'll just kind of do each one at the same time here because both of them have the same step. In this case, I'm just dividing both by 3. So t equals, in this case, positive 3, or t equals negative 3 for this first one for IXL. Okay, so again, you'll put in 3 and negative 3 into your responses. Just know, as somebody had asked about this one, what if the answer ends up being 0? In that case, then you just put 0 and 0 in for both of the answers, if that ends up happening. Again, I know this isn't that problem, but somebody asked about that already, so that's what you would do. Moving on here to just another type. Again, I'll do a bunch of examples here for this IXL just to give you some assistance. Here's another type you might see, though. How many solutions does this equation have? And really just realize it's not much different than what we just did in the first problem. Okay, as you look at it, you might have to break it into two cases to realize, oh, there might be two answers. Or again, if you get 0 as your answer, then that could be the only one answer. There's no positive or negative 0, so that could be the case. Looking at this one, though, notice this particular case, it says absolute value of this expression equals a negative number. So remember, I can't take the absolute value of something. If there's nothing else over here, and the absolute value is all by itself, I can't take the absolute value and get a negative. So this would be the no solutions case. There's no number you can plug in, add 5 to it, take the absolute value, which pretty much give you a positive number all the time, and they expect it to be negative 8. So this is the no solutions case. But realize you will have these other cases too sometimes. Okay, again, I'm just going to walk through a few problems here, kind of like the very first one we did. Again, I like the absolute value to be on the left side. So I'm going to rewrite this problem with the absolute value of y plus 6 equals 3 on the right side. Okay, then to solve these, again, what we end up doing is breaking them into two cases. Okay, y plus 6 equals 3, again, the red case as I call it, or the blue case. Again, I would recommend when you're writing these out, write them out in different colors. It definitely helps your brain. It helps you remember. Okay, here's my other case where the absolute value, what's inside of there, equals negative 3, because it's either going to be 3 or negative 3 that's in here, that when I take the absolute value gives me positive 3. So it's one of these two cases. Then I go ahead and I draw my lines, and I'm going to solve them. Minus 6 to both sides of this one, I'll get y equals negative 3. Minus 6 to both sides of this one, I get y equals negative 9. And again, this can happen. You can have both numbers be negative that you're going to put into the values for up here, negative 3 and negative 9. They can both be positive. They could both be negative. You could have one of each. It just depends on the problem. Okay, looking at this next one now, notice, remember our rule for splitting into two cases was that you first have to have the absolute value all by itself. So let me zoom in on this one. This one, the absolute value is not all by itself. I could also see people for this one saying, oh, it's a no solutions case, okay? But because they said the -3 over here, but it's not. Because when you look at this one, there is still something. Here's the absolute value, right? There's the absolute value lines, and there's something else on this side of the equal sign with it. So, to be able to make that determination, like it's a no solution, or it's one solution, or two solutions, you first have to have the absolute value all by itself. So first thing we need to do is add 8 to both sides, just like solving for any other variable. And when I add 8, it cancels out over here. And on this side, -3 plus my kind of funky 8 there that I've got will give me 5. So look, if I'm just going to bring it over here to give myself some more space, now I have the absolute value of s equals 5. And that totally is something that I can solve. I can take the absolute value of two different numbers and get 5. That'll be -5 and +5. So see, it was not no solution because, again, something we've learned as we've gotten more advanced with these, you have to have the absolute value all by itself before you can break into two cases or even determine if it's one of those special cases. This one should be 5 and -5. Okay, here's another one kind of like that previous one. Take a look. I've got my absolute value over here, and then I've got a negative. So I can see some people saying, oh, it's no solution, but it's not. You guys, look, there's something else on the side with the absolute value. There's a negative there. And so I can't, what it's saying is take the absolute value of whatever's in here and then make it negative. Well then, yes, I definitely can get -3. What would be my two solutions? They would be -3 I could put in the absolute value and +3. Because if I take the absolute value of either one, I do the absolute value lines first, and then apply this negative out here, every time I'm going to get -3. So again, just be careful about saying no solution. You got to make sure there's nothing on this side. Okay, if this was your problem, okay, if you see one like this, absolute value equals -3, and there's no negative in front like this, there's nothing out here like my blue negative, right? Or there's no other number over there, then there'd be this right here would be a no solution. Okay, but if there's something else involved, like this negative or a number or something, you can't necessarily say it. You got to either get rid of that, or in this case, we can just kind of see, oh, it's going to make it negative every time. So it is going to be -3. There will be solutions. Okay, one more kind of like that. Take a look at this one. In this case, I've got a -5 out front. Okay, so like we've kind of talked about, if I can get rid of everything and get the absolute value by itself, that's what I want to do first. So I'm just going to do it right up here, draw my line, and I'm going to divide both sides by -5, okay? When I divide each side by -5, the -5s here will cancel and just be like a 1. It'll be 1q, and it's the absolute value. And I'm just going to switch it around now too, just so like we've done before, it's on the left side, okay, but no different, just switching it around. And then on the right side, I got -5 divided by -5, which gives me +1. And so, yep, for this one too, I can take the absolute value of two different numbers and get +1. It'd be -1 and just 1. Okay, last problem I've got here, and again, incorporates a few things like we've talked about, pretty much all the kind of small things we've talked about so far. Okay, take a look at this one. Here's the absolute value, right? Is it all by itself on this side of the equation? No. There's a -4 right here. So the first thing you actually have to do in this problem is divide both sides by that -4 to get rid of it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I divide both sides by -4. I'm going to bring it down here just so I have some more space. And I'm going to change it around too. When I divide the -4s, they both cancel, and I get 2y still inside the absolute value. I haven't taken absolute values yet. Equals, and then I'd have +4 on the other side. Okay, and now I've got a positive over there. So yep, I can break into my two cases. 2y equals 4, or my other case, 2y equals -4. Then in both of these cases, when I divide both sides by 2, I'm going to get y equals 2. Or when I do it over here, y equals -2. So there are my two solutions. Okay, especially in some of these later problems, make sure, like we've been seeing though, you have to have the absolute value by itself before you can really start solving. Then you can make your two cases. If you still need more help, guys, again, let me know. Zoom or email me. I'm still available all day for the most part. Okay, so let me know how you are doing. All right, good luck.